Hello, and welcome again to a new revision program of That's English.
En nuestro documental de hoy vamos a hablar sobre el cotilleo en la prensa amarilla británica. Gossip in the British sensationalist press.
Los británicos llaman tabloids a periódicos de formato pequeño, pero que también son algo más, como luego veremos.
También escucharéis la palabra circulation. Circulation quiere decir tirada, o sea, el número de ejemplares que se editan de un periódico.
Otra nueva expresión que vais a escuchar es soap opera. A soap opera es lo que en castellano llamaríamos un serial o un culebrón.
Tendréis que estar muy atentos a lo que se dice en el documental para saber si son ciertas o falsas las siguientes afirmaciones. La primera. Tabloids are serious newspapers. True or false?
The second statement. British newspapers have very large circulations. True or false? And finally, Mr. Whitton-Smith thinks the British royal family is like a soap opera. True or false?
Let's find the answers in our Out
And About.
and About.
This is Fleet Street. For many years, the offices of the most important newspapers in the United Kingdom were here. But now, most of them have moved to other parts of London. Fleet Street, however, remains a symbol for all the British press.
The British are possibly the biggest newspaper readers in the world, but they are also very interested in all kinds of gossip.
There are a lot of sensationalist newspapers in the United Kingdom. They're called tabloids. They're very popular, and they include information on scandals about famous people in show business, in finance, and in politics. We have a spokesman of one of those newspapers who is here to explain what a tabloid is. It's Bernard Shrimley, and he works for the Daily Express. We asked him for a definition of what a tabloid is.
When we talk about a tabloid, we almost always mean the shape of the newspaper, a small sheet. But in Fleet Street, we tend to regard tabloid as a state of mind or a method, a technique of presentation, going for the general public, populist.
Tabloids are very successful in the United Kingdom. The circulation is 4 times larger than that of serious newspapers. But why are they so successful? That's what Andreas Whitman-Smith, editor of The Independent, is going to explain to us.
First of all, Britain is quite a small country, so newspapers produced in London can circulate all over the country. And we have many people, we have 50 million people. So newspapers can achieve very large circulations. And if they do, they have less need of advertisers. And in those circumstances, newspapers can provide a very racy, popular, daring, intrusive coverage, which is what happens in this country.
The royal family is the main focus of gossip in the United Kingdom. Any event in the life of any member of the royal family becomes front-page news in all the tabloids, especially if they're about Lady Di or Prince Charles. Of course, it's logical that everything about the royal family is important news in the United Kingdom. But, as the editor of The Independent says, the difference between the serious press and the tabloids is in the way they report the news.
Well, I think newspapers in this country divide into two. Whether you see your job as being entertainment or whether you see your job as being fundamentally news. And the dividing line is very clear, and the yellow press, as you call it, sees the job as being purely entertainment, and the rest of the market sees it as being news. If you see it as being entertainment, then you begin to invent stories, you go into a fantasy land, and most of all, you want to have a soap opera, if you can find it. And we in Britain have a perfect soap opera, and it's called The Royal Family.
In the end, the public has the last word. In the United Kingdom, there are over 20 national newspapers and over 1,500 regional and local papers. So it's up to you to choose between news or gossip.
News or gossip, Sarah? That is the question.
Bueno, ya sabemos algo más acerca de la prensa británica, pero vamos a ver si son verdaderas o falsas las frases que hemos propuesto antes. The first statement. Tabloids are serious newspapers. True or false?
There are a lot of sensationalist newspapers in the United Kingdom. They're called tabloids.
So it was false. Tabloids are sensationalist newspapers.
The second statement. British newspapers have very large circulations. True or false?
And we have many people, we have 50 million people. So newspapers can achieve very large circulations.
So it was true.
And finally, Mr. Whittam-Smith thinks the British royal family is like a soap opera. Was that true or false?
And we in Britain have a perfect soap opera, and it's called The Royal Family.
That was also true.
¿Habéis acertado todas las respuestas? Espero que sí.
Y ahora vamos con el sketch, donde Sarah ve cómo se cumple el sueño de su vida. To be a film star.
Fijaos bien en el uso de las formas impersonales del pasado, the was and the were, porque luego trabajaremos con ellas.
Estáis todos invitados a la mansión de la rutilante Sarah Ashton.
Oh, hi.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
We're from High Magazine. We have an appointment for an interview with the great Sarah Ashton.
Come in and sit down, please. I'll tell her you're here.
Thanks. Okay. Take photographs of everything, right? An exclusive interview with the great Sarah Ashton. This is going to be the interview of my life, kid. Okay. I'll sit here by her. Yeah? You can stand there, opposite us, taking photographs all the time, okay?
Okay.
You got it. Let's go. Check this out. What do you think? What? Ah, God.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, Miss Ashton.
And mine.
Okay, the pleasure is ours, Miss Ashton. We're looking at these photographs. Who's the lovely little girl in this photograph?
Oh, that's me when I was 6 years old.
Really? You were very beautiful when you were 6.
Thank you. And this is me with Errol Flynn. Errol and I were very good friends.
Only friends? Wasn't there anything else between you two?
Errol and I were only good friends.
Oh, I see. And who are the people in this photograph?
This is a photograph of my family. This is me between my sister Susan and my brother Michael, and this is my mother.
And where's your father?
My father died in the war. My mother was a widow, and I had to get a job to keep the family.
How terrible.
Yes. That house in the background was ours. There were only 2 small rooms, a living room and a kitchen. But there wasn't a bathroom.
Really? Then you must have had a very difficult childhood, huh?
Yes. Then I swore to God I'd never be hungry again.
That's a good decision. Why did you want to be an actress? Were there any cinemas in your town?
Yes, there were several. I remember there was one by the church. There, I realized my future was to be a film star. But we'll talk about that some other day. I'm very tired now. I'll see you tomorrow.
But we've just started the interview, Miss Ashton.
I've got a terrible headache.
All right. All right, we'll come back tomorrow. But it breaks my heart to say goodbye.
Yes.
And mine, too.
Okay, it breaks our hearts to say goodbye, Miss Ashton.
Gentlemen, this way, please.
Goodbye, Miss Ashton.
I hate journalists. All they do is gossip. And I hate gossiping. By the way, Sebastian, who was that young journalist?
His father-in-law is a very influential man. He's the owner of High Magazine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, I tell you, I really don't want to say, but maybe, well, his wife, I'm speaking about the wife of the other person.
Dear.
Yeah.
We've just seen the past forms, the was for singular and the were for plural.
Vamos a volver a ver unos fragmentos con unos rótulos en donde el verbo se habrá omitido. Vosotros tenéis que ponerlo en la forma correcta. ¿De acuerdo?
That house in the background was ours. There were only 2 small rooms, a living room and a kitchen. But there wasn't a bathroom.
We're near the end of the program, but before saying goodbye, let's have a look at what we've learnt in this unit. We've learnt how to express possession.
También hemos aprendido las formas de pasado. There was, there were y preposiciones de lugar.
Y también hemos hablado de la familia y hemos aprendido nuevos términos de parentesco.
My dear Sarah, that's all for today. Oh, and don't miss the next program of That's English.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.